What is up, Snarf Gang? Recently, I found a copy of Kill or Be Killed Volume 4 that was not overpriced, so I got it, and I finally got to read the ending. And let me just say, okay, this video is going to have major spoilers in it because I can't really discuss my thoughts on the ending without spoiling a bunch of stuff that happens in the um, beginning and middle and basically the whole story. But so if you actually want to read it, which I don't think the endings necessarily ruins it, or but like spoiler on my thoughts on the ending, but just so you know, like if you actually want to read it and don't want to get spoiled, don't watch this video or the rest of it. But basically, um I don't know if I discussed the actual plot in my first video, but the guy tries to kill himself. A demon saves him and then says he has to kill someone every month or the demon's going to kill him. And I'm pretty sure that's about the extent of the plot line I gave in my first review, but there's more to it than that. Basically, like throughout the series, we start learning like more and more about the demon. Like when he doesn't kill somebody for a month, he starts getting really sick and like gets like a fatal illness, and then it magically goes away when he kills someone. So we're like, huh, was that just a coincidence, or is the demon really real? And then later on, we find out that like his dad drew a bunch of drawings of this same demon, and his brother was he had a half brother that was seeing the demon like a couple weeks before he killed himself, according to psychiatrist reports. So like you're really wondering like, okay, is this guy just crazy and it's going to be like revealed at the end of that none of the evidence he sees is actually real and he's just a schizo or something, or is the demon actually real? Like it was laying a lot of sowing a lot of seeds to a big reveal. And my problem with the ending is that you never find that out. Whether or not the demon's real, you never know. In this fourth volume, he basically he tries to tell his girlfriend about the demon, and then the demon ends up like fucking him with him while he's doing it, or the demon, like it could just be a vision that's not really there. But anyway, he ends up almost killing his roommate. I'm not really going to explain the circumstances of that because it doesn't really matter. But he gets sent to a psych ward, and he stops seeing the demon. This detective that's been following this case along like finds out it's him through various pieces of evidence she finds. But one of the the only other police, she has like a police friend she's talking about the case with in a bar, and he actually has ties with the Russian mob. And this guy kind of fucked with the Russian mob earlier. I didn't really mention that, but it is important to the story. But like, all you really need to know is the Russian mob's pissed off at this guy. So the Russian mob goes to the psychiatric hospital while the lady detectives go in there to basically confront him, try to get a confession. The Russians are also going there to kill him, basically, because he did a lot of shit to mess with the Russians in their whole drug, bunch of other fucked up stuff trade, not just drugs, like a bunch of stuff. And he ends up dying in a shootout in the parking lot. That's the ending. And honestly, it was super anticlimactic at the time. And the narrator himself even suggests that. And it does like a cop out ending, or it does like a fake out ending where it's like, but that's anticlimactic, right? Well, too bad. It's the real ending. And then he's like, okay, maybe not. And then he wakes up in the hospital, and then like he finds out that the demon wasn't real. And then he works with the cop lady because she understands his perspective of like going outside the law to take care of bad people. And then you find out that none of that was true and that he actually did die in the parking lot, and he was just kind of like, yeah, okay, I did actually die in the parking lot. But that was nice to think of that ending, right, for a second there. And then the story continues for a little while after he's dead, and the lady detective basically goes and tells his girlfriend about like the truth basically, but she's like, I can't really reveal this to the public though, or the police station, because there's this other vigilante that was copying him basically, and he died in a shootout with the cops. So the main story is that like that was just the real one, and that's basically what they're going with. And she never like actually reveals that she knows about the Russian mob connections in the police, probably because she's afraid of her life. And then the series just ends on like a I lost basically against the evilness of the world, and it really takes a more of a like powerful evil people will always rule the world, and there's nothing we can do about that because the world's so corrupt, and that kind of ending and kind of message, which is fine for them to take that angle. Like they had sort of been taking that angle throughout the story, but like what I really was just wanting out of this volume was just the reveal of whether or not the demon was actually real. Like they had made the whole plot about the demon, whether or not it was real, all the suspense, like they made it a big deal throughout the story, and I wanted to know, but I never got to. It's just like, is he crazy, or like is supernatural stuff real? You never get that answer. And it really seemed like the demon was real. Like, if the hints that the demon was real weren't that strong, then I'd have been like, okay, it's fine, the demon wasn't revealed. I'll just assume he was crazy. But like, the evidence for the demon being real was pretty freaking strong. So the fact that we never got any confirmation whatsoever, it kind of like annoyed me about the ending. Plus also the fact that like he just died in a shootout in the parking lot, like that's lame. Kind of like, I don't know. I expected it to be more badass, you know? Like obviously it's more realistic that that's how he died, but he could have easily just like saw the guy in the parking lot and then been prepared when he was shot at, but there was like this snowstorm happening at the time, and obviously you don't know the whole context of what I'm talking about because you haven't read it. But yeah, overall, like the whole series wise, like I still liked it. I would give it out of 10 for my enjoyment. I'd give it a 7.5. I did really enjoy it, but the ending just knocks it down for me. It probably would have been 8.5 or 9 if they had actually answered the demon question, even with that anticlimactic ending, because that's just all I wanted to know the whole time. It's kind of just a wet fart of an ending. Like you have all this buildup, and then it just kind of it stops because he dies, and then the story ends. And I don't know what's up with that, man. Like he could have just made the ending way better, but I don't know. I guess part of being a writer is sometimes just following creatively what you want to do rather than giving the audience what they want, because you know, if he wanted to write a story that was real and had a realistic ending where the bad guys win, which I'm not against the bad guys winning, but it's the fact that it was so like anticlimactic. Like a really good example of really climactic deaths is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Every time a main character dies in that show or manga or however you consume it, it's always a super big deal and very cinematic. Their sacrifice meant something for whatever situation they were in, just something like that. But in this situation, his sacrifice meant nothing, and nothing changed about the world. He left like little to no impact on the world whatsoever. So, just a sad, depressing ending. I recommend this for new readers. I mean, I might have said this already in my first review, but yeah, it's a good story. Not if you're under 18 though, because like there is nudity in it. But like if you're a new comic book reader, not like new in life. Anyway, that's my I guess that's my review of my final review of the series. Now that I've read volume 4, I'm just disappointed, honestly. I know I feel like a broken record at this point, but I just wanted so much more out of this. Anyway, see ya.